This is Teaching to the Test Pattern.
Hey, buddy, what's going on? It's been a while. This is StreamSemester.com's Teaching to the Test Pattern. I'm Tom White, your host. I have no real excuse. This episode is solely dedicated to explaining why I've been absent for a couple of months, it feels like. I know the last episode that I did was about the Blackmagic camera app, and I'm going to be honest with you. It was kind of weird. I knew stuff, and a lot of you knew this stuff as well, but today's episode is all about where I've been, what's been going on in my life, some major changes. I changed jobs. That's the big news. This episode is solely dedicated to explaining that, to explaining what's next, what's going to happen in the future with Stream Semester and with Teaching to the Test Pattern. Spoiler alert, nothing. We're going to continue doing it as we've always done. As always, today's show is brought to you by Amy Trace. If you go to StreamSemester.com, you're going to see Paul Terpstra's article about 5 major problems with wireless microphones, and very good article there by Paul, our friend from Clover Products. If you're looking to do parabolic microphones, you got to go check out Paul's stuff. It's pretty awesome. So go to StreamSemester.com. As always, that is brought to you by Amy Trace. So here's the deal. Here's the news. I have, since I started working with School Video News in 2015, I've really had a passion for working with teachers. I found that I really enjoy getting to know teachers. I found that I really enjoy sharing ideas. I enjoy trying to solve problems, and it really is my passion. You know, I've got the Facebook groups. I've got Stream Semester. I've got this podcast. It really is what I enjoy doing. And over the summer, in July, Faraz from Amy Trace called and goes, "Hey, dude, I've got a conference in Tennessee. We don't really, we don't really have a lot going on. If you want to come and hang out, meet some teachers from Tennessee, that'd be awesome. You can record up podcast episodes, yada, yada, yada." And I went up there. And I spent 2 days getting to know a great group of people from Tennessee, some of those that I'm still talking with now. We've become Facebook friends and friends in life. And I saw that there was a huge need in Tennessee. You know, in Georgia, we've had a lot of support over the years, and truthfully, Tennessee hasn't had that support. So I was really excited. I really was. I went to a couple of sessions at this conference. It was the Tennessee CTE conference. There were about 20 video teachers there, all super awesome, super welcoming, and I can't thank them enough for loving on me the way that they have and did those couple of days. And while I was there, I realized, there's really that's really what I enjoy doing. I really enjoy just meeting teachers, hanging out, and that kind of stuff. And it was the first time. It was Faraz Ahmed and Peter from Amy Trace, and Faraz and I have known each other. I mean, he sponsored, as you know, the podcast. He sponsored Stream Semester. He's done all of those things. So Faraz and I have had a working relationship, and Peter and I have known each other for probably close to 15 years. We did some work in our previous careers when I was in radio, and so it was good to hang out with them and get to know them. And while we were there, we hung out. We worked the show all day. We went to dinner. We hung out, worked the show the next day. Then I drove home. I was super stoked. It was great. I loved what I got to do while I was up there, and I didn't think anything about it. It was just, hey, met some new people, kind of grew the Tennessee Facebook group, and it was awesome. I enjoyed it, and I didn't think anything else about it. A couple days later, I get a phone call from Faraz, and he basically says, "Hey, man, I've been looking for a sales guy for years." And I'm like, "Yeah, I know. You tell me pretty much every time I talk to you, you're looking for a sales guy." And he goes, "I just want to run something by you." And I was like, "Okay, whatever." He goes, he said, "I'm not looking for like a like a sales guy. He said, I'm looking for a guy that like wants to work with teachers and get to know them and understands them and can speak their language and then their boss's language and all that. And in my head, I'm going, awesome, great, cool. You're looking for a sales guy. And he dropped it on me. He goes, after spending the time with you, I realized like I need you. I need your passion for teachers as my salesperson. And my immediate thought was, I'm not a sales guy. I'm not doing sales. I'm just not. That's not what it's not my thing. And so he said, just think about it. And he was going on vacation. Came back after vacation. He and I set up a time to talk. And in the meantime, I talked about it with my wife. We had a bunch of questions. I was so not sold. Still, I was like, you know what? I'm an engineer. I'm a teacher. I like working with kids. And but I'll admit that it was intriguing because it meant that I got to work with teachers. But I didn't want to be a sales guy. So fast forward to when Faraz and I finally got to sit down and kind of hash out the details. It was pretty cool. It was a good offer. It was a pretty cool offer because it was an opportunity for me to work with teachers and do the things that I'm passionate about as my profession. And I know, there's two trains of thoughts on that. If you do what you love, you never work a day in your life, or don't ever do your passion because then it becomes your job and you're not going to appreciate it. You're not going to like it. I am the first in that. I've always loved what I do. I've always invested everything into it. So, in August, I accepted the position. And it wasn't a sales position. My official title is Education and House of Worship Specialist. But in August, I took that position. And when I took the position, I realized that while I loved what I did at the University of Georgia, there was a big piece missing, and that was that work with teachers hand-to-hand. That hand-to-hand combat with the boots on the ground, finding ways to make everybody better. And that's what I was missing. And so I finished out my time at UGA. I worked a 2-month notice. I started at Amy Trace the 1st of October. And in that those 2 months, I had to put back everything that I had destroyed because we were doing a renovation. I had pulled every cable out of the building and really would have, if I'd worked a 2-week notice, it would have left them in a lurch. It probably would have burned bridges. So I started 1st of October. We are now October 19th. So I've been doing it over 2 weeks. And I'll be honest with you, I enjoy it. I enjoy it a lot. And when I was debating about taking the position, I called several people and I said, hey, let me just run this by you. What do you think about this? And several people were like, it's kind of a conflict of interest. Several people were like, it really doesn't matter. I mean, you're already doing those things, so just keep doing that and work with Faraz. And I got to thinking about it, and in complete transparency, I have stepped away from the teaching to the test pattern and the stream semester relationship with Amy Trace. Josh and Adam handle that now, so it's completely free of me. And as I was trying to think of how to present this, because I don't want you to go, well, now he's a sales guy and everything he's going to do revolves around sales and yada, yada, yada. That's not the case. I will still talk to you about gear. I'll still talk to you about your classroom. As a matter of fact, a major part of my role is going and presenting at conferences. And I'm not going to present on equipment. You can go online and get the equipment. You can go online and read about the equipment. You can ask me about it offline. For example, next week I'm doing a presentation on broadcast writing and writing for Jerry. And if you come to any conferences that I'm doing over the next 6-8 months, you'll probably see that presentation. And I got to thinking about how doing that would be perceived. And again, Faraz and Amy Trace has supported everything I've done. And I have, sold out to promote them in the past, literally Amy Trace, Amy Trace, Amy Trace, Amy Trace. And one of the things that my wife said that really resonated with me was, what better endorsement for how you feel about Amy Trace than to change and give up your entire livelihood to go work with them? And that's how I feel. Um, in the last month, I have been in more classrooms. I have talked to more teachers than I have in the last 2 years. I've been on university campuses. I have met with general managers. I feel like this is like my uniform. It used to be a ball cap and shorts, and now it's headphones and a microphone in what used to be my son's bedroom. And what I'm learning is that all of the things that I thought were true about Amy Trace truly are. And I don't want to turn this into an ad, but it's going to be for a moment. The difference in what we do at Amy Trace versus some other companies is we're going to meet with you. We're going to figure out what works for you, what you want to do, and honestly, we're going to figure out what we think will work for you. It doesn't do you any good if we give you a piece of equipment you'll never use. It doesn't do us any good to sell that to you because you're not going to come back to us. Your bosses aren't going to let you come back to us. For example, today I met with a teacher. We were going over some plans they had, and this person's really into sports, so we customized what that person wanted for sports, and through some different ideas that he wasn't aware of to make his stuff better and easier for him to use. So that's where I've been, and I'll be perfectly honest with you. I'm going to be back full bore now that I've kind of settled in. Now that we're a couple of weeks in, I've got my studio-ish set up now. I've got my workspace. I've got a time that I know that, like, okay, most of the time I'm going to be home, and I'm really excited about that. I mean, for me personally, this week alone is the most that I've been home other than like 2020. I mean, I've always had something. Even in 2020, I was in the office every day. I've been here other than to go to the gym for the last 2 days, and I'll be here again tomorrow. And that's great. For me personally, I burned the candle at both ends for many years in radio, and then the stuff that I did with athletics at the high school level and the collegiate level. I needed this time to be home. But like I said, I wanted to come on and share with you where I've been, what's been going on, how it's going to impact Stream Semester and this podcast. It's not. We're going to keep trucking. I'm going to keep digging, keep finding things. I'm going to write some more stuff in the next couple of days about working in the middle and being available for your students to mess up and grow. And I'm going to do some other stuff, getting you ready for the holidays and getting you into the transition piece into the winter. So definitely make sure you visit Stream Semester. Again, thousands and thousands and thousands of articles on just about anything you want. Hundreds of episodes here on the podcast. So I'm going to keep that up. I hope you will continue to follow and like our stuff. We're on all the socials. And if you need something, shameless plug, reach out. I'm not going to call you. That's not how we're going to do this. You're going to call if you need something, and we'll help. And if we can't help, we'll get you in the right spot to where you can get help. So thank you so much for listening again. Man, this feels good to get off my chest. I feel like I've been kind of hiding it. Honestly, I was scared to put it out because I wasn't sure. I'm still not sure how the reaction is going to be once it goes en masse to people. So, but my heart hasn't changed. Just my job title and what I do has changed. So I love you guys. I love teachers. I love teaching and yeah. So as always, thank you for listening, and go out and make some awesome tonight or today or whenever maybe it's first thing in the morning. Have a great day and go make some awesome.